Hey everybody, Tony from Detroit Tesla here, back with another video. We are in the Macomb, Sterling Heights, Utica area for today's FSD 10.9 version. FSD is currently not enabled. Waiting for this traffic. Once it turns, as you know, it still struggles on Michigan lefts, but you know what, for the video, let's do it. So I have something a little bit unique for you guys today. I decided to start doing DoorDash here and there just for during the time that I'm filming FSD videos, so at least I can put some extra coin in my pocket. Not that I need it, but you know, why not? And I think it's a good time to talk about how I feel like a lot of these DoorDash, Grubhub, and let's just watch the car completely wanting to go. So it was doing it, and then it wanted to go left into that first lane because it's hardwired in, like we talked about before. But there's nothing, that's not new behavior, it's been doing that for a while now. Anyways, so DoorDash, Grubhub, I truly feel, even with Teslas, that once FSD is to a point where it exceeds human safety, you know, a lot of these DoorDashers can be replaced, right? And this is the theory I was talking about with other DoorDashers that I met, because some of them saw me pull up in a Tesla and they're like, "You drive a Tesla, why are you doing DoorDash?" I'm like, well, just because I drive a Tesla doesn't mean I can't do DoorDash. Like, why not, you know, in my spare time? And I didn't get into details of, like, you know, having a YouTube channel and all that. But if you think about it, if you use the DoorDash app or Grubhub or any of those apps, they all work the same, right? You order food and someone comes and delivers it, right? What's stopping someone like DoorDash pairing up with Tesla and, you know, DoorDash buying their own fleet of autonomous Teslas, or having other DoorDashers like me, instead of adding myself to network, I add my car. I have a spare Tesla, or let's say I have two different Teslas and one's at home and one's with me when I'm working somewhere, right? So our destination is here, picking up food here. And what's stopping them from adding, you know, that to the network and having these cars drive around? Now, from the basic aspect, what would happen? They would just go ahead and they would add the Teslas to the network. They already have frunks, and that's where I put all the food that I get for people anyway. Like, we're pulling up to our first spot here. And you can definitely put a mechanism that I'm going to install to make it the frunk open automatically. So, for example, we're here at the restaurant. We just pulled up. I have to go inside to get the DoorDash. What's stopping that? They have dedicated spaces here for DoorDash autonomous vehicles, like these cars that are in front of us right here. They pull up, the autonomous car sends a signal through the DoorDash app to the restaurant saying, "Hey, I'm here." Okay, so you're here. And then a person comes out, puts it in the Tesla, because it's either a certain color or, you know, the app points you towards the Tesla even. There's so many ways you can do that. Puts it in there, you hit put inside of frunk, it closes automatically, and then the car just takes off. And then all you have to do is go to your driveway and just, you know, come outside when the autonomous car is there. The frunk will open automatically, and then once you confirm you got your food, it shuts, and that's it, right? It's such a simple concept if you think about it. All right, so now we picked up the food, and now we're heading to the destination. When I get into the subdivision, obviously for privacy reasons, I'm going to shut off the video, but continuing the conversation from the last, you know, a minute ago or a couple seconds ago, because once I edit this, it's going to be a couple seconds, right? So what's really stopping DoorDash from doing that? Because keep in mind, the people like me that are working right now, we're 1099 contractors. We're not W-2. We're not employees of DoorDash. We're subcontractors, right? We can turn it on and off. We can work whenever we want. We are not pay benefits, insurance, none of that, right? We basically work on tips. So, you know, what's stopping an autonomous fleet of, you know, doing this type of thing? You know, there is nothing really stopping it, except right now the idea of, you know, getting it to the point where it can do that. Because like I've mentioned to many people before, and I'm on many different Facebook groups and YouTube channels and just in Reddit subreddits and all that, that Tesla is more than just a self-drive car manufacturer. Let's start there, right? I truly view them as artificial intelligence, robotics, and a manufacturing company. I think that's where their strengths are. You know, the way that they make cars is not like any other car. If you dive deep into it, people think, oh, it's got wheels and windows, it's made like every other car. Sure, maybe the materials are similar, but it's just the way that they design Teslas and do them, without getting into a whole spiel. Yeah, that's really, you know, what it is not designed the same. They don't work the same. And, you know, I think once people kind of, you know, understand that and see, you know, because see that in the long term, I mean, it's only going to make sense. And then let's take it a step further, right? Optimus Subprime, I think he's called, or the Tesla bot, right? I believe in it. I think it's going to come out and do its thing in a few years here, maybe 2 to 4, maybe longer, who knows? And what's, you know, happening with that is that it's going to have the same FSD computer that's somewhere down in that area, I've been told by a tech, in its front chest, right? So what's stopping a robot like this, okay? No steering wheel, no nothing, a robot sitting where I am, being driven by this robot, the car, right, to the destination we're going to now. And when it gets there, it's just literally holding the food and the drinks right where I am. And then when it gets there, it just gets out, puts it in front of the door, walks back and gets back in. Now, a lot of people say, oh, that's far-fetched. That's not really that difficult to teach a robot to do. Like, I'm talking about like a robot that, like, you know, stands up like a human, that type of robot. Because technically this is a robot too, if you truly understand how Teslas are made and how they work and how they're built. This is also a robot as well, right? So it's just something to think about. I'm not saying this is what's going to happen. I'm not saying that this is the route it's going to go. But once FSD kind of comes to the point where, you know, companies start to buy it, like why would you know, they wouldn't, God, it's just, so many possibilities are running through my mind. And on top of that, companies like DoorDash would save so much more, right? Not because they pay benefits to drivers like me or something like that, or insurance, but think of all the people that work customer service for DoorDash, right? If we don't have humans involved in dropping off the food as much, right, there's less need of a customer service rep, right? There's less need to outsource it, right? There's always going to be customer service reps because, again, until restaurants become robotic, right, and don't have humans, and now I'm thinking a little bit down the future, right, what's going to happen? There's still going to be customer service, but it's going to be less, right? Because if the delivery drivers and the cars are all autonomous, well, yeah, I mean, you just don't need as much customer service reps. Now you just have to hire more software engineers, I guess. So maybe the price will stay the same, or maybe DoorDash will have to, you know, start to pay more for software engineers, which, you know, to kind of figure out and combine with Tesla. But then I think it'll be more on Tesla's end, right? There's a lot of things to think about. Maybe a lot of things I'm not even qualified to talk about. Maybe someone in the comment section can, you know, talk about it more. Explain to us more, you know, everything that's going on, right? So I think it's an exciting future, and I'm not saying 30, 40 years from now. I would say the next decade we can see a lot of this happen like this. The minute, you know, Tesla wants to turn on that FSD to the point, I mean, it's already on now, right? But to the point where, I mean, we can talk about, you know, semi-trucks autonomous. We could talk about DoorDash. We could talk about, you know, I know everybody mentions the whole Robo-taxi thing, but there's a sense of liability there versus something like, you know, something like DoorDash or Grubhub. Or what's the other one? I know DoorDash is the most popular. That's why I signed up for it, because I see so many restaurants having DoorDash. But, you know, I mean, as we're talking here, you know, since I've been DoorDashing the last 3-4 days, you might see me turn on the turn signal just because I want to get to the destination a little bit quicker than the car is doing something. But so far, I mean, the car, we're about to be at our destination, and the car has been doing pretty much everything. You know, I haven't been doing much. I'm letting the car do its thing. So the possibility of the car doing this by itself and just replacing me, it's just like, once it gets better than a human, right, which it's almost there, right? I know people hear this a lot, you know, go cry fanboy in the comment section. I don't care. But it's really almost there for a lot of places like this that aren't even complex, because Macomb, Shelby Township, we're heading into, this is Macomb, this is like pure Macomb here. Like, it's just, you know, those things, it's easily be replaced, because it's just like there's not a lot of curves, there's not a lot of roundabouts in this area, there's not a lot of heavy kind of like dense urban traffic like downtown Detroit. It's just north, south, east, west, right? I mean, Detroit is too in suburban areas, but you get what I'm saying. So it's just something to think about. Definitely open up the discussion in the comment section. I figured this would be a cool, different kind of conversation to have while the car's driving around. And, you know, definitely just some cool pocket money, you know, nothing. I know there's people that take this, you know, thing seriously, which is cool. And you know, I'm taking it seriously. I'm not, you know, not delivering people's food or eating it or something, right? But after this left turn, we're going to be close to the house. So for privacy reasons, obviously I don't want to, you know, put people's destinations or stuff like on the house, on the internet rather. So it's going to come up to this left turn. Once we see how it does on this left turn, which it took this a little bit early, which I'm not going to even report it, because I would have took it a little bit early like that too, even though you're supposed to go where the line opens. That's okay. There's nothing to report there. Yeah, you know, while we're kind of waiting for this last turn, the light hasn't changed. I see in the corner of my eye. I just loved how on January 26th that everybody thought it was going to be a Cybertruck presentation, and they forgot it was a Tesla earnings call. So they were all expecting something about the Cybertruck, you know, and it's just like, they have experience building the Model Y in Fremont. They already set up Tesla Austin for it, Giga Austin. They were building the line for a year for Tesla Model Y. It's going to be the best-selling crossover here in the world, United States, if they keep it up, because so many people are buying them because there's so much more room. I'm a Model 3 type of guy. I'm a car guy. You know, I don't mind it. I'm definitely getting a Cybertruck because I need to replace my truck. And I'm just going to push the car through this one, just so we're not late. But, you know, I guess it was kind of just being safe. But I will be back in a second. Okay, gang, we're back next to our, on our way to our next destination. Still doing DoorDash. Now, an interesting situation happened in the last one. We were talking about the robot, we were talking about this robot, right? We were talking about Optimus Subprime, and then the cars that drive around. So I had an interesting situation. I had a little mix-up, and I dropped the bag off at the wrong house. It was just a house over, similar address. I just misread the address. Simple mistake, right? Robot's got to fix that, because what if the robot drops it off at a wrong house, right? So now I'm going to add a little bit of criticism to Tesla's idea of, you know, Robo DoorDash, right? Let's call it that. And the not the restaurant, but the robot, first of all, has to find parking like me. But on top of that, has to figure out, you know, does it have the right address? Because the navigation, you know, kind of put me towards the address. Maybe I typed it in wrong, and that's where I got it wrong. But you know, it's something that they have to work on, right? It's something they have to figure out. So continuing our conversation from the last video, is it going to fix mistakes, right? Is it going to realize, like I did, that I went to the wrong house? Actually, I didn't realize till the app texted me, and then I realized I made my mistake. But can the robot see my mistake before the customer does, right? That's the topic at hand here, right? Because I didn't realize once I make the delivery, that's it. You know, the cash is in my account, the money's in my account, and I go on to the next order, right? Obviously, someone's going to let me know, but I should have caught that mistake, human mistake. But if we can limit those mistakes, if we can put them down less, right? If we can make them less of a thing, then we have something that's better than humans, right? more efficient, doesn't have to rest. People can order something at 2, 3 in the morning. Robotaxi will come, right? I'm sorry, Robotaxi. See, I'm just so interested in Robotaxis. But Robo, whatever. Let's say a taxi, a Robo DoorDash, a Robo, I don't know, come clean your house at 4 in the morning. I don't know. I mean, obviously that's when most people are sleeping, but you get my point, right? Because people order food late, right? Because some people work late. Some people are up on Saturday night, they come home from the bar or on a night out, right? And don't get me wrong. I'm not saying that this is going to happen like this. I'm not saying that this is the way of the world, right? But me being part of owning a couple companies and just, you know, doing this for fun, for kind of research, and also gives me time to kind of record videos for you guys so you can see different kind of areas. And I've done this area with DoorDash last couple days. I'm going to switch my area soon just to switch it up, you know, because I'm kind of used to this area. It's okay money. It's okay, you know, time doing this. But again, I noticed my videos are starting to get picked up by the algorithm slowly, and that's definitely what I want. So the more, I guess you could say, quote unquote, content that I can put out for you guys, the better, right? So I do, however, have like a certain, I guess you could say, budget or that I'm trying to aim for, or like a certain goal. Today is I don't watch sports, so excuse me guys, but some playoff game for the Super Bowl, a friend was telling me. So I was kind of expecting a little bit more money, but it's okay. It's nothing crazy. Because again, this isn't my main source of income. And any person that has been successful in life can tell you to never rely on one source of income. But I digress. We talk about Robo DoorDash, right? So that was a very interesting one, the delivery before this one, of, you know, is it gonna deliver it, right? Is it going to fix its mistake and realize that it went to the wrong house, right? I think my car just navigated where I told it to go. And now that I think about it, I shared it from the DoorDash app to the Google Maps app, because you can't, like, you know, like most Tesla owners, if you know, you can hold on an address, a text on an app, on whatever, and hit share when it like lights up on iPhone or Android, or at least on iPhone rather, Android's different, and you can hit share and it'll share it to the Tesla app, and then it'll pop up on the address here for you to know where to go, right? So with this, it's not. So it's just, you know, definitely something to think about, something that is going to come very, very quickly, I believe, in the next 5 years. I was saying a decade earlier. I don't know. I kind of take that back. I think it's going to come quicker, because we're almost, we're about 5 minutes away from the destination, you know? And I'm going to drop off the food, and it's just, I can see robotics and artificial intelligence just taking over this so simple, right? Now, many of you in the comment section, when I first started posting these videos, like, he works for Tesla, blah, blah, blah. No, I do this in my spare time, making these videos for you guys. And the idea is just to put out this content and just give a kind of feel for the Metro Detroit. Now we got an interesting turn here on the left, because this was just a straight shot. It is a yellow switching to red, but we're gonna have this interesting turn. But before the turn, long story short, I ran a DJ entertainment business, so that is my main source of income. So it had the correct left light on. All it needs to do, hopefully that it doesn't try getting into the lane next to us, because there's 2 lanes, and then they turn like this, and then you just need to just stay where you are. That's all you need to do, you know? And hopefully it's gonna turn and just go with the flow of traffic and not try to go in the left lane. Because if it does, I'm gonna cancel it, and I'm gonna see if it can actually go into this lane properly. They lines are a little bit messed up. They haven't fixed them there, just because it's been a while. From what I remember, this turn is very bumpy, but you know, let's find out if the car can actually make a left turn. And the light's about to change green. I was just going to say I was going to speed this section up, so you just don't hear me rambling on about gibberish, but the light is green now. So let's see what the car's going to do. Hopefully it just goes. Okay, it's going. Good. Just stay where you are. Okay, so it's kind of making a nice, okay. A little bit janky in the steering wheel, but it did good. That was really good. I thought it was going to be something scary, trying to like go in front of that big F-350 and freedom fighter, I like to call him, with his diesel, and you know, but it did pretty good, you know. And now it's just, I think, like a straight shot, and then straight shot, sorry, and 2 more turns, and we're at our destination. So let's see what happens. Okay, we're gonna go in Moravian to Hayes. So it's gonna be a right, and then it's gonna be maybe like not even a quarter mile, and then a left. So this is Moravian. I can never pronounce. I'm probably pronouncing it correct. Okay, I'm gonna report that one. It should not have that trouble. Still no turn signal until it actually is doing the turn, which is kind of pointless in my opinion at that point. So right away it's got to get in the left, which it's not. This is surprising. Usually it does. So this is not a lane anymore. Hopefully it realizes this. Okay, it did, but it had to go through all those bumps to realize it. I'm gonna report that one. That wasn't even a driving lane. I feel like that's like a passing lane. So here's Hayes Road right here. The car seems to be somewhat slowing down. Okay, we do have a lead car in front of us, so maybe it's gonna learn from it. Let's see, it's like coming to a dead stop. No, not dead stop. I thought it was going to, but okay, it did that okay. It just didn't need to slow down as much. Maybe that car that was in front of us coming out of that subdivision was kind of second guessing it. But there's gonna be one more right turn. Let's see how it does, and then one more left turn to a subdivision. Then I'm gonna cut the video for privacy reasons. So this is the right turn. It's a red light. Okay. It does that. It turns on a signal, then it turns it off. Okay. The steering wheel is like going like left, if you can see. Trying to avoid that curb, and that's good. Shouldn't, you know, I only had one video where it came up on a curb, kind of. But, so we're gonna go left here. Okay. Now, it's interesting. There's construction barrels, so you probably can enter into the subdivision, but let's see. There's a bunch of gates around it. Oh, this is gonna be interesting for the car. This is the correct street. Take it easy. There's a car there. Bunch of construction. A little bit of hard braking. Gonna report that. Doesn't need to hard brake like that. Just slow down nicely. There's a nice gap if it wants to go. It's going. Okay. I'm gonna give it a little bit of a push because that car was, it seemed like purposely speeding up. Okay. So I'm gonna cut the video for now. Okay, guys. So I'm coming to the end of my shift here, or I guess the time I wanted to work. So hopefully you guys got to see the Macomb, Shelby Township, Utica area. Where we dropped that off, that was actually considered Sterling Heights, almost Fraser. But all of this is the Metro Detroit, right? So this is outside of the Detroit area. Put some comments in the comment section down below. Let's start a discussion about Robo DoorDash, Robo taxis, Robo food delivery in general, because that's going to come real quick. Like I said, I understand how businesses operate. I understand how, not robo-taxi, but how big corporations operate. And just like many of you that have worked for corporations, if they can find a cheaper way to do it without you there, they will. You're just a tool in the United States and probably in most of the world, but especially the US. So unless you're some high-paid engineer or somebody like me that gets paid based on the experience they provide, if it's just basic labor like this, I mean, gosh, it's so easy to replace and it's almost there. So like, subscribe, share, push this to your friends, push this to people that work at DoorDash. You know, let's start a discussion. Let's talk about it. Until next time, this is Tony from Detroit Tesla. Thanks for watching.